Shamai, GTA the wrong way. We are going to review the Ultralight, the silent killer. Yeah, it's a bit of a fun vehicle. I got it free and I would never have bought it otherwise. But I'm just going to upgrade it with all the old handling and speed upgrades that you need. Also with a special propeller. So we'll get some colours on here. But you have a silent but deadly propeller, which means when you slow down, it goes into stealth mode and you are off the radar. So that's the reason why I've found myself to have some fun in this vehicle, because otherwise it's quite terrible. So there they are, the muffled carbon propellers, 315,000. That's expensive, but worth it, I think. And then the gimbaled turret, 195,000. That's also what you want, because you want to be able to shoot people from the air without them knowing where it's coming from. It's really small, hard to spot, so it's fun. What you can see from taking off is that on the left hand side in the old radar, there's a solid triangle showing that I'm on the radar, okay? Now as we cut the engine, you'll see that start flashing to indicate we are off the radar. So any minute now, there it is off the radar, and we can select our weapon and we can shoot down upon people as we so wish. Here I am, pretty high up, shooting these dudes down here. It's quite tricky. You've got a good bit of movement with the turret there, so I am getting some shots on them, but I'm not getting the time period. So you need a couple of seconds to be blowing them up in the standard cars there, just the street cars that they're driving. I think it'd be better to be a bit lower down, perhaps, but the problem is the wing tends to get in the way. You can dive down at them so that your wing has minimal kind of obstruction, but you do have the trajectory to then be concerned about and hitting the ground. So, like swooping down on them, that'd be pretty good. I think that'd be a good method from third-person perspective. But this might not be the best way of doing it. I think the first person is probably the better method out of the two. I also have noticed trying to shoot this person, an individual, is quite difficult. Far easier to shoot the cars. Oh, auto missile, he missed. I just took a bit of a dip there. I do have flares on it. I could have had chaff as well. But I didn't use them, funnily enough. I was too busy trying to figure out what I'm doing and what I'm shooting with this microlight. It is good fun. I've really enjoyed it, and having reviewed the videos, I really thought that I'd done a lot better and blown up a lot more cars than I actually had. It really felt like I was doing a lot better, but it turns out that I'm still really terrible at this aircraft, and there are people on YouTube that are better, so do Google them to see their kind of action and how they've found success. But I'll persevere, and at some point I'll get a bit better, and hopefully come up with some better videos. But until then, this is the best I can do. And this dude is about to write a message to complain about my griefing. Please stop. But I'm only shooting him. I'm just peppering his car. I've not killed him once. Or her. Not sure. Could be him or her. But first person perspective is better. To get into first person, you need to take off the gun and then change perspective and then put the gun back on, because as long as the gun is on, it won't change perspective. So there we are. We're driving it like a World War I fighter plane, so we've got fixed guns here. We're using keyboard and spacebar to shoot, to get people. So I'm just angling it, so it's just off center there to try and get the guns on. And you can do it central as well, but I tend to find that strut gets in the way a bit. I am getting some kills on finally, blowing up some civilian cars, which is easy enough at this kind of height, and as long as they're going in the same direction as you and aren't doing too many maneuvers, too many complex maneuvers. You could shoot an aircraft as well. I tried. I nearly got a helicopter over at the base, the Chinook type helicopter that she's really slow. Nearly got one, haha. So I'm not brilliant. I've seen people shoot down aircraft in this on the old YouTubes, but yeah, we're getting some success on this with this method. I suspect it might work a bit better if you just have one hand on the keyboard to control your movement, because you don't need acceleration, because if you accelerate, you come off radar. but you're off radar as long as you do not accelerate. So here I am, I'm just rotating the turret while I turn and getting these guys. Unfortunately, they do not have noddy cars, so they have armor upgrades, which means it's very difficult. I might have got a kill there, maybe not, but I can see how you could get a kill, especially someone who's going turboing it in a straight line, because you have the range and you could easily get somebody on that. Turbulence as well, so here we are in a bit of rain, heavy, moderate to heavy rain that's bringing turbulence, so it is more difficult to control. I found it more difficult to get the kills on the cars, and I want to do this business battle, so I'm going to bail out at this point and go and crack on with that. The other thing of note as well is it's very buoyant, so when it's in the air it's difficult to crash it. So even if you're not controlling the aircraft, in level flight it will stay up as long as you don't hit a building, so you can really concentrate on the turret and shooting aircraft. But looking back, you'll see that this is still in the air flying around, which we'll see in a moment. So I'll steal this car. Look at it, it's on screen still going around. I was going to get a new vehicle, but I can't seem to return that to the garage because it's still flying, believe it or not. So that's pretty amazing about this aircraft. I've never had that before in an aircraft, for it to be up in the air for so long. I'm not sure if the convection with the storms is helping out a bit here. Now then, a stealth modified ultralight will cost you just over $1 million, so it's quite expensive when you think that you've got the alternative of an Akula, which is stealth and has missiles. But nevertheless it is fun, and I think if it was on at a discount, or if it's free like I got it, it's certainly worthwhile upgrading. So I hope this has helped, and drop a like and a subscribe, and have a most excellent day.